Welcome to the ArtMiabo Podcast, the show where we talk to fine artists, creative minds, and cultural backers from the African continent. I'm your host, Gift Enyadike, and if you enjoy these kinds of conversations, please leave a like and a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Now, with me today is actually a returning guest on this podcast. He is a multidisciplinary Nigerian artist, a lecturer at the Federal College of Education, the Technical, in Akoka, Nigeria, as well as the longtime curator of the ArtMiabo International Art Festival. He is widely known for his work across painting, performance art, and arts education. Mr. Yusuf Durodola, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Welcome back.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so for those who may be meeting you for the first time, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your journey, both as an artist and an educator?
My name is Yusuf Durodola. I'm a visual artist, a multidisciplinary artist, and I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I was born in Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria. And my artistic journey started at the age of 5. And that was when my dad was teaching me how to sew because my dad was a fashion designer. So my career started as a fashion designer. So I designed patterns on clothes. But when my dad was teaching me how to sew, he gave me paper to run on the machine. But when you have the needle on the machine, it creates perforated dots. So instead for me to be running it as normal, you want to sew, I was using it to draw. So to draw cartoon. And that was how he realized that this one is actually going to be an artist. After all, the fashion is also part of art. So, but my own kind of art is just a pure visual drawing, cartoon, and things like that. So, then he started encouraging me. Then one of my brother, happens to be a graphic artist. Now, an interest in me. Then I stay with him. He trained me up. So my journey as a creative person, as an artist, started right from my childhood, and since then to now, I've never done any other thing than visual arts. And alongside, I love teaching. I love kids so much. Teaching them, I love that. But I didn't know that I'm going to be a teacher. So, but one way or the other, some things happened when people are looking for teacher to teach the kids for the kindergarten. So many of them, they are like, they can't teach them. They are too small. But one of my friends who also being called to come and teach, who rejected the offer, now said, I think I have someone. Maybe he might have, an interest in teaching those kids. When I got there, I felt the passion of the proprietress of that school, that she loves art so much and she wants to make art as compulsory for all the kids. At times we have some schools that it's just like elective. Art is elective in some schools. You pay for that, either you want to do it or not. They have, music, they have visual, they have other things that are elective. But in this school, art is compulsory for art. It's compulsory because she understands the value of art. So she was looking for someone who is going to teach those kids. And when I got there, I felt that energy. And I asked myself, if this person has been looking for artists to come and teach these kids and she couldn't get anyone, that means the art industry will have failed this woman, because this woman really loves art and she wants art to be compulsory for all the kids. So I just took it that no problem, let's see how it goes. Since I love kids, I love being around them, and I love crafts. So I started, teaching. That was how my teaching career, started. Although I went to College of Education, Federal College of Education, Akoka. That's where I studied. We did art training, art education, and we do also teaching practice. They call it teaching practice, where they will send you to schools to go and teach. So that was my first experience teaching secondary school. Then after that, the primary, then kindergarten, then presently I'm now teaching in a higher institution. And in all these school that I've taught, I've never written any application. It's just they are looking for someone, and I think this person will be able to teach them. And I will just get there, and I realize that they need help. So my contribution has always been like they need help. Let me just help them. Even where I am presently now, that is my alma mater. That is where I finished from. So I was invited to come, even though I didn't have, that time, or, you know, I'm not ready to say I want to teach, but when I was called, I saw the platform, I saw the avenue for me to encourage, for me to motivate, young ones, and to also contribute immensely to the growth of these young people. So I took it upon that, okay, let me just come in and teach. So my teaching and my art practice has always been something that has been part of my body system. So I really enjoy it.
Thank you so much for that. I guess, just zeroing in on that, I think you mentioned earlier being called upon because there actually wasn't a very wide pool of people to take the position you've taken. So from your experience, what do you think art education in Nigeria, because you said you didn't apply to this, this was something that you took upon yourself. So what do you think art education in Nigeria gets right, and where do you think it still struggles from that experience that you had?
In Nigeria, I think when it comes to the teachers or the lecturers, I think we have brilliant people. We have brilliant people, brilliant, very brilliant. That they can actually groom them. But so many things that are lacking, so many things that have made those things, the educational system collapse. I will say that. And one of those things is discipline. Discipline in form of handling the students, then discipline also in the welfare of those that are teaching them. So when there is no discipline for those that are teaching, there's no way there will be a transfer of discipline to the receiver of knowledge, which are the students. So for me, the bulk of the problem, the challenges of the Nigerian educational system, everything boils down to discipline, where the teacher or the lecturer is also struggling to survive. How do you want that kind of person to be in a rightful mind of teaching? So many things will be going on the ground. So many things that you have to just let it go, of which you're supposed to, pin it down and work on it. It's just okay, let's just leave there. So many things so many things are happening in terms of taking the educational system down. And above all, there is no or little advanced technology in teaching. So it's that area is so poor.
Yeah.
Proper advanced
And actually, I
technology.
think, yeah, I
What is that?
actually want to even talk about that, like the advancements in technology. Got a lot of younger artists today. They're learning through, social media, through workshops and online communities. My mother, Miabo Nyadeke, she posts on her Instagram the art clinics, several different tips and tricks for young artists. And they're going to these places rather than traditional institutions, formal schools and all that. So how do you think, because you mentioned, a lack of advanced technology. So how do you think formal art education should adapt to this reality?
The truth of the matter is the student will be forced to go to that line because they can't find it in the school system. Imagine you want to teach and you're supposed to be online showing them some of this stuff. For example, if you're talking about someone, if I'm talking about you now, that this is what you do, there's nothing stop me to go direct online, show them your face, then show them what you have done. We don't have all those things. So the students are maybe after the class, they have to now go online and be searching. Why is it that at the moment where the lesson is ongoing, can't we connect immediately? Can't we elevate the technology system of teaching them? For me, I got it personally for myself because when I was invited to come and teach, the first thing I do ask myself whenever I want to do something is, do I have what to offer? Is there anything that I want to add? If my answer is no, then there's no point for me going there. So when I was invited, to academy, so I asked myself, what and what am I adding to this system? So I have to get myself some gadgets that this is how I want to be teaching. So if I'm teaching in the class, I have my own standby electricity. I don't because at times they don't have lights. So I got all these. I got the power bank gadget for myself. I get the screen, I get the projector, I get everything. So that whenever I'm teaching you, If I'm to go online and search for something, go on Google, we go straight to it. That is how I can fulfill that I'm here and I'm not floating. I'm here to teach them. So that is what I think that we're supposed to have in the educational system. And in a situation where we don't have that, definitely those students will go somewhere else to find the solution, to find the answer to what they are looking for. So we have drawing on YouTube, how to draw on YouTube. We have so many things on YouTube. So they will rather go there and be searching for that. Why they will get into the class and the class will look so bored, they will look so dry because we cannot what they are watching over there. Can't you show them there? Can't you collate some of those people that are doing, for example, if I'm teaching anatomy, woman anatomy in drawing, I should be able to show some of these clips to them. It will make them it will open their senses easily. What I'm teaching them will also be so easier because they have already watched the video. So when I'm demonstrating to them, they connect easily. They enjoy the class. The arts lesson that is not fun. When you remove fun from education, it's so dry. People will not even follow you.
Yes.
So it has to be so fun. It has to be, that is how you can connect their spirits, their energy into what you are teaching them. So, and also innovation. We need new innovation, not teaching like telling me the history is good to take from the history, but let's see the people that are also operating presently now. And that is how they can connect. When they
Yes.
connect to the people that are very close to, by the time you are taking them back to the history, they can trace it. But when you get to the history, there's
Yes.
a disconnection between that far distance to where we are today. Then imagine I want to talk about
Yes.
the use of
Absolutely.
both parts in communication, and then I'm referring to you. They can connect to you because you are in their part, you are in the same generation. So by the time we connect, then we gradually moving back. That one we sink easily than you see having the old version of the system, old version of the curriculum, old version of so many things. It will help the situation. And that is why it looks so bored to them. Today, I'm teaching a course, Traditional African Festival and Theater. Now, I asked them to pick a masquerade, look, because we are looking at the theater in the traditional form. And our theater started from the ritual stage, which is the masquerades, aspect. Now, I asked them to pick a masquerade. Now, from this masquerade, can you generate a contemporary fashion outfit from the masquerade garments? Now, let's look at Eyo. Okay, we have the Eyo garments. Can you think of how to the innovative idea that you can generate from Eyo and create a contemporary fashion outfit? And you could imagine how fun it was for them to feel like, oh, I can borrow, let the past influence the present, because that is how we can connect. This is how you can teach them, you can make them feel that there's something that they need to borrow from, not like they are floating. So there's a way that technology, AI technology, could help them. And also an innovative idea, an idea that resonates with what we are, where we are today. It's not about being a fake, ideology. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I actually wanted to speak on something you mentioned about, just looking at connecting the past with the present. Your own work here, your own work spans, painting, performance art, installation, public engagement. So as I mentioned, you're multidisciplinary. Do you think that art schools are actually doing enough to encourage this experimentation, this feeling out and, interdisciplinary practice?
I must say that the school are doing it. The school are really doing it. But it's not left for the students to see that I have gained all these ideas. What will I do with them? So, but there is so much thing that is so rampant now that people looking at, for example, they have taught you textile, you have done ceramics, you have
Yes.
done painting, you have done sculpture, graphics, but at the end of the day, you want to call yourself just a painter. Where do you live or where do you place all the other experiences that you have gained? You are not just a painter, you are an artist, you are a creative person. you are telling story with your idea. So your story could come from any form. It all depends on how you want to relate with it. So for me, I don't see myself as just a painter. I see myself as a creative person. So if it is textile that works better for me, to speak, then I do that. Let's imagine that you are being invited into the midst of the fashion designer or a tailor, personnels, and I want to call myself a creative person. Then I will be speaking their languages. It is their language that I will speak, but using my creative energy to speak about it. So I can tell them the pattern, I can tell them the different forms. So, but the moment you carve yourself that I am a painter, definitely you have already given yourself a box that you cannot expand. But for me, I see art in everything. It is in everything. We are all artists, but in different forms. And we have professional artists. But every other person, we are all artists. Because the way you speak is part of art. The way you dress up is part of art. The way you walk is part of art. Even when you look at the market setting,
Yeah.
pepper seller, the way they arrange their goods is part of art. It's an installation. So art is everywhere. Art is everywhere. So how come you want to just tame yourself to a one channel? Why, when you are in school, you are being taught to all this at the preliminary stage? So it's just that this one, I want to do this one more than this. It's not like you don't know how to do it. But at the end of the day, you see so many people that will just say, I'm a sculptor. Who told you that the sculptor cannot paint? Who told you that the sculptor cannot do other things? Today, I'm a graphic artist. I started my art from the fashion designing, then to the graphics, then to the printing. I learned all through, and I never left any one of them because anything that I want to learn, I learn it to the core. When you are learning and you learn to even if it is 98, 99%, and you stop there, you will be coming down because you have not gotten to the peak. Whatever things that you are learning it very well. Learning it very well. When you learn it, it becomes part of you. So when it becomes part of you, it cannot leave you anymore. Today, I do all those things because I really, really learn it. I gave it all. I gave it all myself. When I was learning graphic designing, I learned it very well. When I was learning printing, I learned it. I learned so many things. I learned a bit of web designing because I love knowledge. I enjoyed it so much. If I see something in you that I need to learn, I will call you and I want to learn it. So learning doesn't harm. It add value to you. That is what it is. So for you to now have learned so many things at the preliminary stage when you enter school, and you are now telling yourself that this is the one thing that I want to be doing. No, it's like you are shortchanging yourself. You can do what you want to do, but all those things will also come in. Now, for example, I'm a calligrapher. I calligraph. Then that calligraphy, when I first started, it's meant for commercial purposes. So I calligraph for events. They want to do reserve area. They want to do menu list. I calligraph all those things. They are giving certificates. I write the names on the certificate. But it gets a level that's when my calligraphy change. That is a transition. You have a transition in your practice. So I don't do it for commercial purpose anymore. I do it strictly for my fine art. And when you see it, you know that this person actually had the skill of calligraphy. Even in my performance, I purposely, intentionally infuse that calligraphy into my performance. Whenever I want to tap someone, I want to say something in my performance, I will write it, on a card with my calligraphy skill and I will show them. So with that, it also brings more connection to you. People begin to listen more because they can see the creativity. I have done that in some performances and people want to collect that card. Someone told me it is this card that I want to collect. I love the way you have written this. So whatever things that you have learned is to add more value to you, not to disengage you. No, it all depends on how you bring it in. So, but for me, they are learning all those things in school because everything I learn in school also. So, but I make it part of me. When you make all those things part of you, then it will reveal where you are coming from. It shows that you have really gained so much from your background.
Thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My next question is as both a curator and educator, You've obviously worked closely with a lot of emerging artists. What are some of the biggest misconceptions young creatives have about becoming professionals?
Thank you so much. The errors that I could feel and I could see that the young ones they are making, they just want to jump over there. They don't want to pass through the channel. They don't want to see them on the road of getting there. They want to be at that point. Now, someone that have been in the business, that have gained experiences, but because presently we have so many people coming into the art, that art is booming, art is doing well. Then we have new collectors of art, and they're also very young. So they want to collect the works. They are, they have this passion of collection. So because they are not collecting your work, you feel that that is all everything. No, art goes beyond buying your work. Buying your work is even the least there to become an artist, because the art you are producing, you are breathing into that art. That art is an extension of yourself. It's an extension. It's something come out of you. It's part of you. So what kind of bond are you creating between you and your art? Is it because of the money people are buying the works? That is what define your art? No, what define your art is the purchasing power. Then you are not creating any legacy. You are not creating art that will surpass you, art that will outlive you. Art has to come from you within you. And that is one major problem that I've seen with the young ones, that they don't want to see, they don't want to involve in the process of their art. Let your art be your passion, be you. Money will come, all those fame will come. They will come naturally. You don't need to force it at all. In as much as you are doing the needful, you are really pushing and you're really rebranding yourself, you will get there. It will come naturally. So, but for them, because someone is selling at this so point or so rate, I also want to, my heart has to be like this. No, there are so many things that surrounds your value. There's so many things that make up of that price that people are given. It's not about the heart. Your heart will come, it will later come and become not you again, not even the art again. It is you that people want to buy. People just want to buy you. They want to have you. It is not about your art anymore. You have transcended from just the craft into a legacy. And that is one thing I want them to see, and not that a rush approach, a quick approach. No, it's not about being quick. It's about doing the needful. You have it step by step. When you jump a step, that step is an emptiness. It will collapse later. It will definitely collapse because there's a vacuum between the first step and the third step. When you miss the second step, you need to build on steps so that you have a solid foundation. But when you don't create a solid foundation, the time will come, it will crack because you are shaking, it's floating. So instead for them to have a relaxed mood, create art that comes from you and not because of trend. You are not working for trend. You are working for what works for you. So your art becomes your identity. In that case, you are building a solid foundation and you will see yourself growing, gradually growing. You don't need to force it. People will be the one calling you because they know that you have the value. You have what they are looking for. So you don't need to be chasing anyone. Turn yourself into a garden. Don't be chasing the butterfly. When you create that garden, butterfly will come naturally. And that is how you're supposed to create the art. Your art's supposed to be your garden, where you live, where you stay. People will come naturally to come and look for you. So what I've seen so far in them is they are skipping. They just look at what is trending. Oh, this is what is happening. I also want to be like this. No, sit down and ask yourself who I am. What am I creating? Of what purpose I'm creating this? Of what legacy? What is the philosophy behind my creation? Why am I doing it? Who am I adding value to? Have I created this work just for the aesthetic sake or for the impact sake? If you are creating an impactful, element, people see it as a value. So no amount you want to call, they want to buy it. They just want to have it because it adds value. But when you don't create value, which is the philosophy that guide your practice, then there's no way people want to connect with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I love that
You're welcome.
that one phrase you made. Turn yourself into a garden. Don't chase butterflies. I absolutely love that. That was wonderful. I want to wrap this up with one final question. We just spoke again about the misconceptions of current ones, but when you look at the next generation of Nigerian artists and art students, what is it that truly gives you hope?
I can see greatness in the young ones. We can't take that one away. We cannot take that one away from them. They have so much to offer because they have come with the new wine, the new substance. It is in them. If only we can guide them and they are also ready to learn from the past, I can see a bright, vibrant, future in what we do. We have so many talented, young and vibrant artists, young artists, young. We can't deny that. Very, very vibrant and intelligent. So if only we get it right, that they are building it in a steady form. I cannot imagine what we have in the next decade. I cannot imagine because I've seen so many young ones that are very creative, energetic. I have curated so many art shows and I've seen the young ones, the energy that they carry. I can feel it. Most especially, it is this generation that we have technological advancement. So many things have, come up. But one needs to be very careful. If they are being well guided, then the sky is just the beginning. Because today we have AI that can, help you. But how are they using AI? Are they using AI as your assistant or you are using AI as your boss? When you have turned
Yes,
AI as your boss, then you are just doing a follow. You are a slave to that, gadget, to that app. But when you
yes,
make it as your secretary, you send your secretary a message. You are the one, and that is what they call prompt. You prompt it that this is what I want. So before you can tell someone do this, that means you have already processed it in your mind. You have already know where you are going. Not that that application is the one controlling you. It's not controlling you. I always even yeah, find it so annoying when you're saying AI is taking over what you are doing. So who is AI? Who created the AI? And a human being like you created the AI, and you are sitting down here saying someone is taking your position. So AI is just a change of tools. It's as good as when someone is walking and you are saying this person is taking your space. That is it. Imagine you are having a pen. Imagine all of us we are having pen to draw. So and someone is not drawing well, and you are saying that person is taking your space. It's because the person changed the gadget into a system. You are drawing on the system. You are not saying that because the person is using keyboard or using some other sophisticated gadget, is taking away your job. No, the person only changed, the tool. Nothing else. The brain is still there. So it's the same thing with what we have now. We can use and maximize the opportunity well. Then the sky is just the beginning. I could see them that they have everything. Not like back then that you have to create. I could remember back then, there's nothing like digital print. There's nothing like you want to do a billboard, you want to do all those things. You do it manually. There's nothing like digital back then. But today we have it in a digital, approach. Why is it that they cannot think? This is the time to think more because you have every tools that have taken over, you know, taking care of the preliminary stage for you. So for me, I could see that there is so much to gain, so much to look out for in this young generation because they have everything, they have all the tools. And I have witnessed the skill, I've witnessed their energy, I've witnessed so much energy from them. So I'm convinced that we should be expecting greatness.
Thank you so much, Mr. Durodola. Thank you again for joining us and for your time. To our viewers,
You're
thank you
welcome.
for watching. If you enjoyed this conversation, please leave a like, share, leave a comment as well, and of course subscribe to the channel. We will see you next time.